collective, forbidden knowledge has always been available to the chosen few. While ignorance has held sway over the many, Coptic Sage on the sacred road journey manifests an end to said ignorance. Enjoy the journey. Hey, what's up, y'all? Just shuffling my cards here. One hell of a predicament I just put myself in. I mean, if my mom knew what I've been doing with these cards, you know, the whole divination ban thing. Oh well, too deep to stop now. As they say, don't stop me now. So I'm just going with it. Anyway, this is a beautiful deck. The Visconti Sforza Tarocchi deck, dating from mid-15th century Milan. Yeah, so I'm reading this from the pamphlet in the packet. What do we have here? Italy holds the honor of producing several of the earliest known hand-painted playing card packs that contain 22 mystical and allegorical trump cards called Trionfi. Artists in Ferrara and Florence also hand-painted 15th century Tarocchi cards. The connection of cards to the Visconti and Sforza families of 15th century Milan is based upon the heraldic devices and mottos appearing on the cards. So I guess that would be the suits, how they're represented. The term Tarocchi was used in Italy in the early 16th century and quite probably in the late 15th century to describe the complete 78 card deck consisting of 22 Trionfi or trump cards and 56 suit cards. The words Tarocchi and Taroccio are often used interchangeably, although Tarocchi is actually the plural of Taroccio. The French word tarot, a derivative of Tarocchi, has come into widespread use in the English language. So, of course, that's what we know now. So it is actually French, tarot. The term trumps is derived from the Latin triumphi. Arcana is a Latin word meaning mysterious or secret. The Italian word arcano, derived from the Latin, has the same meaning. The 22 trump cards are known today by tarot deck collectors as the Major Arcana or Greater Arcana cards, and each card depicts a symbolic allegorical picture. The trump cards also are known as études in French and tarocchi in Italian. The 56 suit cards, also known as the Minor Arcana or Lesser Arcana cards, are divided into 4 suits of swords, wands, also batons, staves, scepters, or clubs. We have cups, which are also known as chalices, and coins, also known as pentacles. I prefer that word, don't you? Each suit comprises 14 cards consisting of king, queen, knight, page, plus pip cards numbered 10 through 1. And those are the layouts of the cards. Now, as is my custom, I love to lay out the Major Arcana cards as soon as I get a new deck. Love to see the artwork. I am an art enthusiast. So let's take it from the top. The number 0 card, the Fool. Okay. Beautiful artwork there. It's a man holding a staff. Barefooted. Okay. Guess he would represent some kind of pauper or traveler during that era, 15th century Italy. Next in line would be the Magician, wearing a red cloak. There he is in front of his table with his knife, his cup, all the devices that we're used to seeing with the Magician card. Next, the High Priestess. She looks like a nun. Beautiful representation. She's holding a staff. What I would would assume is a Bible. The cord that goes around their waist for their dedication. Beautiful, beautiful card sitting in front of a tapestry. The next card, the number 3 card, would be the Empress. And the Empress has green gloves, always a sign of fertility. She has the famous Scorpio, or the eagle. It's always a sign of royalty in the European monarchy. The next one, of course, is the Emperor holding his own staff with his red shoes. Again, that's very traditional as far as the Emperor in red with the Empress in green. Beautiful card. So that's your number 4 card. Your number 5 is the Hierophant, or the Pope. And also known in those days as the Spanish Captain. Interesting. And he looks like the Pope. Yeah, he does. He's holding his scepter. He's giving the sign. Dominus Solus. It's the Pope. Next one, the number 6 card, the Lovers or Marriage card. I believe this was one of the ones that was destroyed and had to be reproduced by a different artist, or touched up, so to speak. And it does show the 2 lovers. They look like children in this particular depiction of it. Feminine energy is dressed in red. And it looks like you have Cupid blindfolded above them. It's a beautiful depiction of that particular scene. So that's the Lovers card, the ones with the choice, huh? The Chariot card is the number 7 card. It's looks like the Empress actually, or a queen. Could be the Queen of Wands. She's wearing red gloves, and she's riding the chariot with 2 white steeds. Again, all with the backdrop of the tapestry. I'm absolutely stoked. These cards this is Renaissance art at its best. Okay, so let's move right along. We got the Justice card, number 8, and of course the classic Justice, holding the scales in one hand, the sword in the other. Above the head of the Justice card, we do have it's like a knight on a steed with the sword drawn. So it's all how swift justice can move. Again, perfect depiction. These cards are slightly larger than the average tarot card. As a matter of fact, the height reminds me more of some of the Oracle decks, and the width slightly smaller, but they do fit the bill as being very unique in design. Okay, so moving right along, the number 9 card is the Hermit, Father Time, or the Hunchback. All of which are represented in this image, except this Hermit doesn't wear the hood. He does have the lantern. He does have his beard. He is hunched over with his staff in hand. He looks like a lonely man. That is a hermit, if I ever saw him. Okay, keep it moving. Next card is the number 10 card, Wheel of Fortune. Very interesting. Blind maiden in the middle. Old Father Time on the bottom. It's like one person going up on one side of the wheel, the other one facing head down on the other side of the wheel. This is your karmic wheel. And we have an angel sitting on top, guiding the direction in which this karmic wheel should turn. Goodness. The 11 card. Strength, force, fortitude. Now, instead of a maiden on this card that we're used to on the more modern decks, we have a man. And it's not a loving caress or hold or grip on the lion. It wasn't a pleasant taming that's taking place. He's taming this lion with a stick. He's beating him down. The lion looks like the size of a dog. He has very Renaissance, the face of a man almost. but it is a lion, and he is being beaten down. I am sure animal cruelty people will not like the looks of this card, but again, it is a depiction on how they viewed art back in that day. Again, just from the artistic value, it is a beautiful card. Number 12, the Hanged Man. Hanging Man. Also known as the Traitor. I never knew of it as the Traitor, but that is what it is depicted as in this era. And if you've ever seen a fencing jacket, that's what it looks like he's wearing as he's hanging upside down. It is a symbol of the Hanging Man. I've seen these in so many places, not just in tarot. I've also seen it in some Masonic books. This is a sign of initiation for them. This is, again, a great depiction. Number 13, Lucky 13 is Death, and he looks like Death. Looks like Death met this guy. He has a long bow in one hand, or one skeletal hand, standing in a kimbo, as we would say in Jamaica. His scarf around his head or a bandana, and he is a skull. He looks like Death himself. You'd think he'd have a scythe, especially for that era, but no, the bow. I guess the bow was the major deliverer of death in those days. So here it is. Death, number 13. Okay, let's keep it moving here, folks. So after Death, we have Temperance, number 14 card. And yes, this looks like Temperance. This Temperance does not have one foot in the water, but it is the Temperance that holds two jugs. Stars on a dark blue dress, toga style dress, red sleeves. I'm sure all of this has significance. The symbolism is very similar to the present card, just that we don't see any water pouring. This is just holding it in a position. A very Aquarian looking card. This one is another one of the cards that was reported to have been partially destroyed, and they had to reproduce this. So this is the number 15 card, the Devil. This Devil, not a bad job. You know, your normal devil with your fearsome face, fangs, horns, you know, the whole horror show thing. His hands, he actually has one hand holding a scepter that looks like a back scratcher, which I don't know how bad that is. But what's interesting is I'm looking at the two captives, or the two people who are in their devilish energy, being held by a rope. But the male counterpart in this, his hands are bound behind his back, whereas the female, her hands are loose. Where the rope goes on her is from around her neck to his hands. His hands are bound. Interesting, interesting. I will definitely be digging into symbolism of these at a later time. Okay, so we all know what comes after Death, what comes after Temperance, what comes after the Devil, but the Tower, number 16. The Tower, the falling tower, the lightning struck, yes, going straight for the crown chakra. Okay. The House of God, the Hospital, the Tower of Babel, Fire of Heaven, the Devil's House. All of these are the different names given to the Tower card. Excuse me. Oh man. The classic image too. I mean, you have the man, the male figure, the masculine, and the feminine figure. They are actually holding hands as they tumble out of this tower. The tower is red. You can see why they call it the Devil House. It looks like a star bursting out. I don't actually see lightning going in. I see a cloud with the sun. So I guess truth, in this case, truth is what cracks open that crown chakra, sending these poor people tumbling to the ground. I don't know if I should say poor people, they're blessed, because after the Tower always comes very good thing. Comes the Star. So here's the Star card. Brand new beginning of the Star. And with this Star card, we have again, it looks like the same woman that we've seen before. She has a blue dress with the stars on it, holding a star over her head. Beautiful card. Absolutely beautiful. I love the way the cloak is draped over her. Green on the inside, showing abundance. Red on the outside, showing spiritual nature. Beautiful card. Yes. After the Star comes the Moon. Red dress. Signs, man. I tell you, they're representations of life. Holding the Moon. Okay. Next card, number 19, the Sun. The happiest card in the deck. It looks like Cupid. It absolutely looks like Cupid holding the head of Apollo. Red cloak, wings. The cloud is a little dark. I don't know if this is a reproduction, but the cloud doesn't strike me as anything beautiful. But I do understand what they're depicting here. That is the Sun card. Moving right along to number 20, Judgment. Last Judgment, the Angel card, and there it is, blowing the trumpet, the two angels. Looks like a man and a woman, and then an old man, all at the bottom, and a sister of sorts. The Almighty sitting above it all. Judgment card. Last but not least, number 21, the World card, the Universe. Angels holding up the world. It's a castle. A moat around it. It's not just a castle, it's a prosperous castle. This is not a fort, this is a palace. And over it are the stars. Wonderful, wonderful deck. Absolutely wonderful. So that is the Major Arcana for the Visconti Sforza Tarocchi deck. Okay, so now onto the hero's journey. The Major Arcana are all about life's lessons, the overarching themes that govern us, and can be and are usually represented and told from the standpoint of the Fool card, also known as the hero's path. Along this path is each card within the Major Arcana. The Fool's journey is a metaphor collective, and our journey through life's trials and phases. This is the Fool's first time leaving home and is called to grow through his experiences. Yes, it's story time, where we will go through the story of the hero's journey through the Major Arcana. We will also introduce you to the different tarot deck, where you will see the obvious similarities as well as the artist's interpretation of the very same cards you just witnessed today. You'll also get a little bit more of the tarot history. So same bat time, same bat channel, collective. Peace.